Dude, you all set to go for episode number 250 something? Somewhere.
Yeah, 50 something. Yeah, I've got my racket in my hand because there's a bee that's like flying around.
Okay.
So, don't worry, I'll be okay.
I think this is number 252. I'm looking over my notes here.
Yeah.
And by the way, fellas and gals and guys, this is it right here. I mean, this is not like just total seat of our pants. I mean, we're kind of organized on this thing, I think. So
kind of
a little bit. We'll get better.
Well, at least one of us is.
Yeah. That's right. Well, believe me, once you get out of Michigan, you're going to become a computer nerd and learn a lot of stuff. So
I don't doubt that for a minute. So like I said, I've got a little bee that's like flying around. So if I'm doing that, don't worry, I'm not waving you off.
Okay. Well, and if you're on iTunes, and of course, if you're on iTunes right now, you have no idea what Jeff's doing or what he's even talking about.
And I've got my EpiPen with me right here. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's a screwdriver. Okay, whatever.
Don't stick that into your leg.
That's right.
So, I don't know what you guys must think right now if this is the first time you're joining the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast, but I am Brent Abel. That dude over there is Jeff Jacklich, and we're actually helping tennis players improve their tennis in terms of how to reduce your skill level range. What a concept. In fact, it's the only way that you can build confidence in your game, whether it's singles or doubles, is to stop having such a vast range. And one day you're up here, and the next day you're just like in a different planet. So our job is to help you guys bring the bottom of that skill level range up every day. Maybe not to the very top of how you could possibly play, but pretty darn close, so that when you go out there and play, whether it's singles and or doubles, you know how you're going to play on that day, and that's where you really start to get some rock solid foundation of confidence in your game. Before we get started, Jeff, we are offering a free private coaching call to anyone who wants to take us up on it. It is free. Again, it's private. It's 10, 12, 15 minutes, whatever we need to help you with that one thing. And that's what we ask, is you bring that one thing in your game right now that you're not quite getting figured out, that if you could get it figured out, you might start getting the result that you want. And the way to get on that call, just go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler, along with a free video. It's private, but a free video that Jeff and I did months ago about how to reduce that skill level range. And then if you're already on our list, well done. If you want to get on that free private coaching call, just anywhere in email we send to you, there's a link where you can get hooked up. So, dude, we are recording this the day before I travel. Today is Sunday. Well, today's Saturday, but this is getting published on Sunday. I'm traveling all day tomorrow, which is Sunday. So we are prepping to make sure that, just in case the Frankfurt airport says I don't know, but there's no Sprechen Sie Deutsch in terms of Guten Tag and for what? I don't know. I'm probably swearing. I don't know. I'm probably swearing in German right now.
Could be, yeah. You might want to curb that as you enter the Frankfurt airport. I don't know, because it seems like, based on the time differences and the fact that you're only 3 hour, blah, 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 it seems like you got like a 48-hour Sunday coming up, So.
Could be. All right. I'll be nice to the Germans. So look, we talked yesterday about an epiphany I had about, especially in the forehand, trying to find that threshold, that swing freedom point, where you're actually inflicting some pain over there. You're not trying to hit outright winners, but you got some swing freedom. It's a sizzle. It's a nice feeling through the ball. Especially at 4-all in the third. You're not backing off and going, please give me the match. That doesn't work. So I think another epiphany I had here, Jeff, and part of it's because of the red clay, the serves were not great. The first serves were okay, but the second serves just kind of sat there. And I for one, think that we don't practice enough a la Craig O'Shaughnessy, with
right.
with his numbers on the 0 to 4. So why don't you explain what the 0 to 4 means in Craig O'Shaughnessy's world, and then let's dig into what I think is a really underutilized opportunity we've got when we're receiving serve on that second serve.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Craig, for those that don't know, Craig O'Shaughnessy is the numbers guy behind. He's actually on the team for Djokovic right now, and he's the numbers guy behind Brain Game Tennis. And so he's the guy that you see there in the booth sometimes at Wimbledon and all the Grand Slams now. Throwing out all the percentages and the numbers and tracking and all that. And so the 0 to 4 kind of epiphany that he discovered is that at the pro level, and again, this is over the course of a year of stats and numbers and all that, at the pro level, most points are over in 0 to 4 hits.
You mean my 4 hits?
No, total 0 to 4. That's 2 for you, 2 for me. Unless I double fault, which would be 0. There's your 0 hit.
Okay.
Right? And then up to 4 hits. So that's a serve, return to serve, a return to the return, and then the receiver hitting his fourth ball. Right? So 70%. Now here's the crazy thing. We can't just isolate that to the professional game. I actually charted a whole series of matches with some of my 3-5 and 4-0 ladies in doubles. And basically the numbers flushed out the same at that level. It was maybe a little bit less than 70%, probably 65 to 70% on average. That's where it kind of fell. And so not enough to change the understanding of what's going on. So that doesn't mean, though, that we're hitting winners, that we're going for winners in 0 to 4. That's not what that means whatsoever, right? The understanding is that if that's the case, what am I paying attention to in practice? Who cares if you can rally 20 balls in a row? Because that's going to happen 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a match, maybe.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Everything else is going to fall in that 0 to 4 or 5 to 9 hits, right? And so I know there was one match for sure that actually comes to mind, Nishikori playing Andy Murray, and it seemed like Nishikori was doing much more damage because these really long rallies and the crowd would go crazy and he would come up with the win. So I think in a 3-set match there was 9 points that went 10-plus rallies.
Or 10 plus shots.
10 plus shots, right? Or maybe it was 13 points that got there. However, and he won like 9 of those, right? 9 out of 13 of those points. So it sounds like he's really doing a great job. However, that was only, 9 points. And so the downside was that he failed miserably in the 0 to 4. And that's where Andy Murray won the match.
Yeah.
Was winning probably 54 to 60% of the 0 to 4 points, right? So the reality is that it works at our level as well. The numbers flush out basically the same, and so I know that part of your epiphany is that maybe we should spend more time really owning our first 2 shots. Yep. Is that where you're going with this?
Well, totally. I mean, duh. I mean. And that's really the point. I mean, like, it wasn't I didn't come up with it. Craig O'Shaughnessy was the one who said, the practice court is broken, right? We're spending all of our time hitting these cross-court groundies. That's all we do. You look at YouTube right now, or you look at Facebook, and coaches are putting up, videos of their star students. And all they're doing is grinding out groundy after groundy. And it's kind of like, well, why don't you show me their serve? All I care about, really, I want to see the quality of their second serve. I want to see them return serve. I want to see how consistent are they with their depth on the return to serve when someone's throwing in a nasty something. You never see that. All you see are these big, forehands and backhands and thumpers, and you're going, but this isn't what wins points, guys. So just like Jeff said, and even Craig O'Shaughnessy said, look, it works its way all the way down from the pros, all the way down through college, all the way down through the juniors and all the way down through the rest of us. And
right.
And so I guess the thing I want to zero in on today is that, number one, we should be working way more on the serve. We should be working way more on the second serve, a high quality top spin second serve. I'm not saying you got to have a big time kicker, but you got to be able to do something to get the ball up and out of the strike zone so that you're not giving away the, any kind of advantage. But I think the other epiphany I had this week is, God dang it, we are letting so many second serves that are sitting there. We're just not doing enough damage. And I kind of said to myself, in a couple of these matches, look, what do I care if I miss a couple if I kind of do what we were talking about yesterday with trying to find that threshold of, well, what's maybe consistently a little bit more power in terms of trying to really, trying to do something. I'm not saying go to a corner, and I'm not saying hit a winner.
Right.
But dang it, hit the thing. If that means run around a backhand and get a forehand. Now, if you're right-handed, and that means that you run around a backhand, you take yourself way over the doubles alley, and you hit it hard, that could be a problem, right? You've now just taken yourself out of that goal. But everything else, as long as you stay, relatively close to the center of the court when you're hitting that shot, I don't think we're doing enough, which tells me we're certainly not having someone, hey, could you throw me in some second serves and let me just discover what, with my own technique right now, what do I have to do to get a hold of a forehand? If that's your big thumper, and play it right up the middle big. Don't go for a corner. Don't go for a corner. Just go up big. And just maybe it takes you 8, 9, 10 sessions. Maybe it takes you 2 months, 3 months. But, 90 days, big whoop. Down the road, now all of a sudden you've put in the time and you've gone through the wide spray nozzle for a month. And it's all over the zip code.
It's ugly.
And yet you've had the guts to go,
right,
I'm going to see this.
The payoff is huge. Yeah. The payoff is just huge. My own discovery in that, working with Sherm Stever, was the two things. Was my serve we weren't utilizing my to really become inflicting way more pain on the first serve, and then the return of serve, inflicting way more pain than I wasn't inflicting any pain really, And so the hours we spent on those two items literally transformed my ability to go from kind of struggling first and second round in, the NorCal Open events to, quarter, semifinal finish in anything I played, because it took about a 6 months transformation on the return of serve, where the goal was, listen, don't worry about, lines, the middle, that. Go right back at the guy, but go big. And so I would come out, and sometimes I would hit the fence 4 times in a row off the return, start of a match, right? And okay. And then I go over there and I hold, and then maybe 4 more. But you know what? I may even lose my serve a little bit, because I was, we're working on this stuff. But by the time I got to 4-1 in the first set, I was starting to dial in. And then, I might claw my way back into the first set and then blow through the second set, because I am taking cuts on the guy's serve, right, on the return to serve, because I would start to feel really good. And it took about 6 months for the complete transformation to happen, where now, as opposed to kind of being kind of pigeonholed as a slow starter, now all of a sudden I was blowing through the first set, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, before guys even knew what the hell hit them, because my gap time between finding that return, early in the match was just getting so like this. It was just getting so tight, so small, that within a couple swings of the first game of the guy serving, I was like, oh, there it is. And it impacted my results off the charts. So I can't even say enough how big of an impact it will make when you can actually feel confident about going after the return and inflicting that kind of pain on the return.
Well, I think a residual benefit's going to be too if you can show your opponent that, look, I'm looking to do a little bit of damage on your second serve, and I might miss a couple, but I'm still coming after you. And one of the benefits is going to be this guy's now going to go, well, I can't miss, I can't let this thing sit. You're going to get a double fault or two. And once that starts
at the most wonderful time.
Yeah. Well, and there's a ripple effect. Even if it's only one or two double faults, maybe at 3-all in the first set, 1 or 2, the next thing you know is the confidence in the rest of the game starts to take a hit. Because there's just kind of a frustration. There's kind of like a I cannot miss my first serve. And
right.
and I've missed my first serve. I can't let the second serve sit because I know this guy's going to go after it. So, look, we're not giving you carte blanche to go out there and just, unload with a howitzer. Really, what we're doing though is we're giving you carte blanche to go out there and spend the next 90 days working on this thing. Maybe it only takes a couple of times a week where someone's throwing in 35, 40, 50 second serves. Yeah. How long does that take? It doesn't take that long.
And split it up into two. If you both do it, if you both hit 25 serves and just serve to the deuce side 25. So you can find your rhythm, you find your space, and you find that angle of attack that the ball's coming in on. And then rotate, you serve 25 to that side. And then when you go back, the next 25 is to the ad court. Don't do the alternating.
Right.
You can't get
rhythm on it. Yeah.
It's much more difficult to find like where should I be standing on this deuce side and like where is it if I'm going to try to do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
But the payoff is just enormous when you feel like you can stare down the barrel and go ahead. Because it really is fun. Yeah. I mean, it really is fun to have command over the return of serve. Yeah. And see the damage and how quickly you can just pull the morale out of somebody and get them down the path of just feeling like they have no place to go.
Well, look, the numbers bear it out, right? The numbers say that, well, if 0 to 4 is it, then man, we're wasting our time. We ought to be second serving lights out until we get a nasty second serve, and then you ought to be having someone do the same thing to you because. Very few guys or gals are going to go out there and really work on a great second serve. Most players just don't want to spend the time doing it. So that's a real advantage to you guys who are looking to up your game and take advantage of this opportunity with the 0 to 4, which is return to serve.
Totally. Yeah, I mean my progression when we would do it, Sherm would start at the baseline and I don't know, maybe 20 serves from there. And then he would come halfway from the baseline to the service line and another 20 from there, hitting full until he was standing on the service line serving to me, full.
Oh, so he would start on the baseline and work his way in.
Okay,
yeah.
So it just got the increased pace, the shortness of time. So that's where, I mean, and you know me the way I return, that's where my ability to be very compact and right there on, square the hand of the ball and that's it. I don't worry about heavy top spin. I don't worry about any of that, but getting the hand square and bang, there it is. So that's how we developed my ability to do that, was that progression of just squeezing the court smaller and smaller, less time to do it.
Well, I'm sure if Sherm's listening to this episode, he's going to go, God, Jeff, I didn't charge you enough, did I? Dang it. I knew
Definitely not.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's it for us today. Hope this has helped. Would love to read your questions or feedback, and so we can read it and respond to you. Let's go with the free private call one more time, just as a reminder, guys. Yeah. We are wide open. I mean, we are. This is no baloney. We've actually got. We're making this offer to everybody. And if you're out of the country, in fact, I've got a call tonight. I have a web tennis student I got to call. I hope we hook up here. But anyway, we want to get you on a free private coaching call. You, me, and Jeff, the three of us. And it's 10, 12, 15 minutes, whatever we need, so we can really kind of flesh out what is that number one thing in your game right now that you're struggling with. Again, could be technique, could be tactic, strategy, could be mental, could be physical. Let's see if we can't kind of put you in the path and get it solved and start getting that result you want in your game. The way to do that, go over to goldballhunting.com. Just put in your first name, email address, click the button. You'll get access to our online calendar scheduler, along with what else? Oh, they'll get that cool video we did months ago about how to reduce your skill level range. So, Jeff, with that, what do we want fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us.
Okay.
Please subscribe.
Oh.
Let us know what you think down below, or if you have a question, something something's on your mind. Love to hear it. And if you're on iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review.
And actually, the rating and reviewing on the audio thing is really important. It is for us. I mean, we're trying to reach as many tennis players as possible. So any of those things that Jeff just mentioned, we would love for you to do. We would really, really appreciate it. Guys, with all that, get out there today, wherever you are. Help someone else have a great day. And I will call you, and we'll do this tomorrow, Jeff, Monday, completely jet lagged. It's going to be a fun episode.
It's going to be awesome.
All right.